about lost love or Vladivostok, or about the Korean, but about the idea that began to slip through her verses. What if she were the only surviving member of the human species, the last woman on earth? What would it mean to sense the absolute extinction of the race? The idea was so disturbing and perturbing that she barely managed to control herself. What would that silence hide? Her fingers took control of the pencil once again. On her 13th day of convalescence, Oksana went back to the dive. The Korean and his entourage arrived punctually, so she couldn't know if he'd come on the nights she'd missed. The temperature had fallen to 28 below zero, and the skies shone with a strange luminescence. It was as if time had petrified, as if the universe had used up its minutes. Even the wind from the Sea of Japan had stopped blowing. Except for the Korean and his bodyguards, there were only two other customers in the bar, a bald, toothless man and a thick, greasy stevedore, both attracted by the heat and the alcohol, not by the music. The number or quality of her audience barely mattered to Oksana. This would be the best performance of her life, she decided, and nothing could change that. Before beginning, she looked for the Korean and focused a gaze like the point of a needle on him. The halogen lights made Oksana's skin go from blue to blood red. Her voice still sounded harsh and cavernous. She sang some of the poems she'd written during her convalescence. It was the gift she was preparing for the Korean. Oksana held her guitar as if it were a flotation device and howled with all her strength. And that would be for the others like the times of Vespasian, and that was a wound and a cloud above of storms. This time, there was no need to come to an agreement on price. The Korean left halfway through the street, and the Russian giant waited for Oksana in his black automobile. The sky was still ablaze with a whitish glow. Vladivostok never seemed so peaceful. The branches on the trees were not supposed to move and didn't. The night birds were not supposed to flutter around and they didn't. The night was supposed to seem eternal and it was. "Why do you do it?" asked the Russian as he drove her to the broken down hotel downtown. She shrugged her shoulders and stared at the empty streets and distant shining. The Korean received her wearing his purple robe. Oksana undressed calmly. The Korean sniffed her armpits and her sex. Oksana got into bed. The Korean took off his robe and leaped on top of her. Oksana caressed his back and the nape of his neck. The Korean remained erect. For an instant, their eyes met, and both knew what would happen next. The Korean went to the bathroom. When he came back, he was holding a knife. Oksana admired his shine. Like prisoners who leave jail, we know something about the others, something terrible. We find ourselves in a circle of hell. Perhaps we aren't even ourselves. As she thought about Zhenya, about her mother, about Anushka, and about the world as a wasteland. And she said to herself, "This is the season of ash." Thank you very much.